Games Workshop broke before the fans did. Games Workshop bent the knee to BlackRock. Games Workshop does not know and has paid no attention to what happens when companies go woke. They go broke. And GW decided they wanted to join in on that going broke experience to get some ESG bucks. So look, some of you may know and may have tuned into my streams where I talk about how I've been a 40K fan for roughly 20 years at this point. Fuck, I'm old. I am old. But no, I've probably spent close to $20,000 over those 20 years on GW, paints, models, armies, multiple armies. Space Marines, Tyranids, Eldar, Tau, all of it, because it used to be fun. You know, not to mention that every time you start an army to have a roughly big, decent game that's actually fun to play, it costs about $2,000. And that's just on the low end of it. So yes, I can back my facts up that I've probably spent $20,000 on GW over the years. But there's something that they've always had an issue with, and that is weirdos who don't care about the hobby trying to change it. Well, before I say this, let me pull this up. This year, BlackRock and Vanguard now own roughly 12% of GW. So everybody was a little sketched to see what happens. What happened was they're going to make female Space Marines. The Emperor, who made 20 sons, and of those sons copied their genes to make Space Marines, to make 20 legions. Gene seed is stored in the balls. There are no female Space Marines. There's no female Astartes. There's no female Custodes. There's none of that. But GW decided they want to get the ESG bucks because screw the fans. What do they matter? You know, ignoring all the years they spent being supported. Ignoring the fact that GW has overpriced itself for 5 models, not even a whole unit you can put on the board. It's upwards of $60, unassembled and unpainted. By the time you buy GW paints, buy some GW glue, buy some sprue cutters from GW, maybe even get one of their shitty X-Acto knives. To put a single box together, you're looking about $80, $90 for 5 models. 5 models, that's not enough to play a game, by the way. It's really not enough to play a game of 40K. Like I said, you're going to spend about $2,000 to put an army together where it's going to be fun to play. Oh yeah, that also doesn't include the rule books that are $60, $70 now. And not only do you have to pay for the $70 rule book, you have to buy specific army books, which are another 50 or 60 bucks, depending on, you know, the day that GW feels. But through all of this, the fans stood by them. We're like, no, you're still making a fun game. You're still making a decent product. Your prices are absolute dog shit, but we're still buying. We're still buying. But GW said, screw you guys. We want the woke transgenga phallus in our mouths. And decided they're going to make Warhammer woke. They've been changing the lore. They're doing all sorts of stuff. Now, GW says, since the first of the 10,000 were created, there have always been female custodians. Prior lore book. It is known that all custodians begin their lives as infant sons of the noble houses of Terra, retconning their entire lore to suck the transgenga phallic object. Games Workshop broke before the fans did. GW is dead. And I think you guys should let them know. Send them a nice email about how you used to play Warhammer, and now that they've decided to go down the ESG woke route, you're no longer spending money on anything. Speaking of which, I have a Space Marine army to sell now. I'll sell it to whoever wants to play and doesn't want to pay GW prices. How about that? I will sell it all for dirt cheap price. And instead of paying, $1,200 for GW stuff, you can at least get it pre-assembled. You can at least get it pre-assembled. Land Raiders, Rhinos, Tac Squads, the new Primaris models, Terminators, Vanguard Vets. God, I have a lot of OG Tac Squads. Because, I was building my own company because that was going to be fun. But no, GW has to go and ruin it. But guys, hold on. Before I say that, for the low price of like $200, $250, you can buy a resin printer. You can buy a resin printer that actually competes with GW quality. And the files are free. As a matter of fact, if you send me an email, I will give you the link to the websites, all of them, every single one of them, where you can download free 40K models. And that's a hell of a lot cheaper than spending $2,000 on an army. When 3D printing a Rhino is $5. But I'm not stopping there. Me personally, I'm not stopping there. I used to buy Black Library books, fresh off the press, sitting at the GW store on the shelves. It's not happening anymore. I'll wait till I find it at a used bookstore. So that way, at least somebody gets some money, and it's not GW. Somebody got rid of the book. I'll buy it. Just not from GW. You know what's also very interesting? Have you guys ever heard of a website called Scribd? It's free to sign up. You get a free 30-day trial. More than enough to download what you need. Fuck GW. Fuck GW for this one. You know what's funny, though? I decided I was going to be a little bit of an asshole and go to the official Games Workshop website and just comment on one of their posts. Games Workshop broke before the fans did. That took an hour. I might actually ratio GW in the Twitter comments section. I won't find out because they're banning anybody who doesn't agree with them because they, got to cover up those ESG bucks. They can't let people know that fans hate what they've done to the lore. But hey, good job. I hope you lose it all. Lose all the money. You deserve it, GW. You deserve everything that's about to happen to you over the next couple of years. But guys, if you're genuinely a fan of Games Workshop and this is the first you've heard of it, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments section. And for any weirdo who's about to jump in my comments section and say, blah, 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 female space marines, blah, 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 I will ban your ass. You will not be able, I will delete your comment. You will not exist in my comment section because fuck you. Oh, Sleazy, you're a fascist. No, YouTube's the fascist. They just give me the power. Anywho, now that I'm done taking a shit on the weirdos so they know better than to try anything, I want to hear your guys' thoughts in the comment section. While you're there, make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you share this one out. But until the next one, guys, be easy like Sleazy. And don't be gay like GW.